Okay, so hello everybody, how you doing? So this is my first ever video review, so see how it goes. I wanted to make a review and a tutorial of how to use the JUMBL hidden camera alarm clock, or just clock, as I'm not sure if it's an alarm clock. I don't think it has that function actually. Anyway, so I bought this on Amazon. It was actually I'm extremely happy with this purchase. And the main reason I wanted to get it, so I'll give you a little background, and the main function for which I anticipate using it, and I have used it so far, is the motion detection capability. So last year I went and taught English in the Dominican Republic for a year. Basically a third world country, kind of poor. And I was doing a homestay, so I stayed with a family which I had never met before. So I basically wanted to make sure, I didn't know anything about them. I wanted to make sure that nobody. They had several children as well. I want to make sure that, and as well as a house cleaning lady, I want to make sure that nobody went into my room and stole any of my stuff. So when I went away for extended weekends, I would basically put that on, and if in the case that anybody did enter my room, the motion detection would have picked up that movement and would have started filming them in my room. So it's kind of a security reason that I bought it. So anyways, I'll get started, show you what everything consists of. So right here I have basically the stuff that it initially came with. So here's a camera, the actual alarm clock. Again, I don't have the box, but this is I think everything that came in the box. This is basically just a audio cable so that you can connect an iPhone, an iPod, any kind of MP3 player to this baby, and so that you can make it play music. That's actually one of the functionalities of this. This is a wall charger, so you plug in the USB cable that it comes with right here, and then you plug this in the wall, and you plug the other end right here into this USB slot. I don't know if you can see it. And it also came with a cable, a very short USB cable, some sort of disc. I'm not sure which this is for. I put the tape on it here. I'm not sure what this is for. I think it has something to do with setting up a live stream via Wi-Fi, possibly. I don't know how that works, and I have no interest in using that. Like I said, my purpose of making this video is for talking about the motion detection capability of this thing. It came with a user manual. It's in English. English is good, but not absolutely perfect. It was obviously written by somebody who doesn't speak English as a first language. Probably from China, because I believe it's made in China. Finally, it came with this little pouch, and I just wrote that myself, but just put everything inside of it. And then over here, there's some. These did not come with it, but I bought them as accessories because I thought they were necessary. So I bought a I think it's a 6-foot long extension USB cord so that I can extend basically. So one downside with this alarm clock is that it does not have a very long battery. So if you want to get anything more than like an hour out of it, you'd have to keep it plugged in. But that's not a problem. So I bought this so I can keep it continuously plugged into the wall outlet. You also need a sort of USB reader, and finally have a little 16 gigabyte micro SD card, and on the so this is a 16 gig. On the instructions it says it accepts up to 32 gigabytes, a 32 gig card, and I wouldn't have any reason to doubt it because the instructions seem to be, everything so far in the instructions that I found out they claim is true. So let's take a look at the functionality of this baby. So we have a lithium-ion battery right here. Okay. And let me turn this on for you. So on the back switch is an on and off switch. you're gonna switch this baby to on. Alright, and hopefully it has enough battery in it right now. It's not completely dead. Okay, so you see it powering on. Okay, so everything you see right here, these are not buttons. I think that's where the hidden camera is located. On the top here, let's see, I don't know if you can see it very well because of the glare. I want to make sure you can see it. So we have the volume up button, the volume down button, the volume up button, and these are also to toggle between the menu button, the mode button, OK, and escape. Alright, so basically when you first turn this on, it's going to be it looks like a regular alarm clock. Okay, it's not filming or recording right now. So if you hit any of these buttons up at the top, it'll bring you to the regular mode. Okay, and now to get to the hidden camera mode, what you must do is hold these two buttons on the top, right? But I'm going to let you, so if you don't do anything, once it's in the regular mode, if you don't do anything, it's going to go back to the alarm clock mode, okay? Or just the clock mode. So again, we're going to go back into hitting the button at the top, go back to the regular mode, okay? And so now what we have here are a bunch of different options. And this is just kind of, I think, to make it look like it's a regular speaker and alarm clock. Let me focus on this right here. Okay, so I think these options are to make it kind of disguise its appearance. We have an audio player. If we go into that, okay, there's no SD card in it, but on my SD card I have a couple of songs, so I'll show you how to set those up. We have an audio player, we have a video player. Actually, let me put the SD card in right now. Alright, so this is a 16 gig. I'm going to stick it in here in the back. Simple enough. Press down. Okay. And so let's go back, hit any of the top buttons, go back to the initial menu, the regular menu, as I like to call it. Let's make sure this is focused. Alright. And so yeah, so we have an audio player. If I hit OK, this button, I can then use the volume buttons to toggle between the songs. I have a bunch of Dave Matthews songs on here. So I'll just show you. And it plays pretty loud actually, so I'll play this song for a second. Okay. So that's playing music right now. And if I hit escape, I go back to this part, and if I hit escape again, I go back to the main menu. What else? We have a video player. I don't know. I tried to put some MP4 files on this to play videos, and it did not work. It reads them, but it won't actually play them. Once I hit OK again, it says cannot play blah 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 file. I don't know what's wrong. But anyways, I thought that would work, but it doesn't really matter again. What else? We have pictures. If you want, you can put some pictures on this. You can use the radio. You hit OK, and then it actually has a little radio. So I'm not going to really show you. The radio's crap. It doesn't really actually receive any signals or stations. So I'm not going to really show you how to do that. Okay, so if you want, you can also do a line in, and you can play music. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. I'll go on my computer. Okay. Oops. So if we want to do line in, what we would do is put one end here. You can put the other end in your whatever it is. It could be your iPhone, your iPod, your computer. Okay. So I went to YouTube, have a YouTube up on my computer, and I'll see if I can now get the line in to work. Alright, so I hit it again, and see if it works now. Play the YouTube clip. And it indeed is playing from this baby right here. So that's how you can That's how you can get it to play from, play your iPod or your iPhone or any stuff like that, right? And then if we toggle once more, we go to this final icon right here, which is settings or system setup. You hit OK. You can change the language. You can set the time. You can see how much space is on your SD card, your micro SD card, which you've inserted. You can restore all the settings to default, and you can look at the version. Okay, so hit escape again. All right, and now the good part. So once we're in the regular menu, okay, and only if we're in the regular menu, we can now go to the hidden menu. All right, the hidden camera menu. So it doesn't really matter where you are in this menu right here, but what you have to do is these top two buttons, you have to hold them down together for a couple of seconds, and you are now in the secret camera menu. Right? So one thing you have to realize with the secret camera, the hidden camera menu, is that after like 15 seconds, it'll go back to the clock mode as well. Okay? But now if you hit any of these buttons on the top, because before it went back to the clock mode, it was the hidden camera mode. Now when you hit any of these buttons on the top, it's going to go straight to the hidden camera mode. Alright? So that's just, if you're trying to keep the hidden camera mode hidden, then don't do that. Alright? So anyways, so we have five different options. Okay? And to toggle between the options, I use the volume left or volume right. Okay? So we have the first option is for DV. Alright? That in other words is your camcorder, and that's what I'm going to be showing you how to use. Alright? If you want, you can also use this as a actual picture taking camera, right? Not a recording camera. We go again. You can also use this just to record audio, okay? And you can somehow use this set this up with your PC camera. That's probably what the CD is for that came with. Anyways, I want to just say that this camera, the picture taking camera, that does not have any motion detection capabilities, right? So if the only motion detection capability is for the recording camera, not for the picture camera, for the VCR camera. Anyway, so if we go to the settings here, I show you a little bit how to use the settings here. So we toggle over to the settings and we hit OK to enter the settings. Now up at the top we have this little cog right here, we have this little cog, and we have this little cog. Using the left and the right volume buttons, we can toggle between the three, right? So the first cog is for the DV settings, in other words the camcorder settings, right? The second cog is for the picture taking camera settings, and the final cog is for the audio recording capabilities. So we're interested in the first cog. This is the DV or the camcorder. So we scroll over that and then we hit OK to enter the options. Now to go between these different options here, we use the left and the right volume keys at the top, right? So we have, let's see, DV mode. Okay, and then to change the options for that, I hit OK. So now I can see that I have it on motion detection mode. There's also DV night mode. I have no idea what that is. Super long mode probably just records for like maybe 2 or 3 hours non-stop. And normal mode probably just records for like half an hour non-stop. I have no idea what any of those are. I'm interested in motion detection mode, so I hit OK. Then if I want, go to the video size, hit OK, and I can change between 320 by 240 pixels or 640 by 480 pixels. I bought a couple of other hidden camera clocks on Amazon, and this is definitely the best in terms of the visual quality, the picture. So hit escape to go back. Alright, I have it on 640. The DV quality, I have it on high. Video timestamp. So if you go here, you can change on and off, put the timestamp on it or put it off. The timestamp just it'll show at the bottom what the time is that it is recording at. And of course you have to, the reason I have it off is because I think every time that you let this the JUMBL get unplugged or sit around for a couple of days unused, I think the time resets. So every time you would want to use it, you would have to reset the time in the settings, which I don't feel like doing, so I have it off. Alright, video loop record right here. So you have two options. Hit OK. You have two options, on and off. So what this is basically, if you have this on, it will, in the case that you use up all the space, the storage space on your micro SD card, then what will happen is it will, rather than stop recording, it will continue recording by recording over the oldest footage that you have on here. Okay? But conversely, if you have the video loop record on off, then basically when you fill up the micro SD card with footage, it would just stop recording and not record anymore. Okay? The video segment time, I have it on 10 minutes. I don't think this really matters if you're going to use it for motion detection mode. Okay? So there's like two other options, like 30 minutes and an hour. So I just have it on the shortest possible time. Okay? Then the next one is auto record. I don't know what that is, and there's only two options, on and off. I have no idea what that does. Screen display. So basically, let's go and enter this. You have two options, hide or show. If you choose hide, then that means that while it is recording, either motion detection or any other type of recording, this screen will not show the recording. It will show the alarm clock. So it'll basically hide the recording with the alarm clock display. If you go, on the other hand, if you go to show, then while this is recording, once you set the camera off and it begins to record, this entire screen will also show what is being recorded on the actual screen. It's kind of like an iPhone or any kind of phone. All right, so I want it to be on hide, because if somebody trips the camera off, I don't want them to know that they tripped the camera off and to see their image in this screen. All right, so I want it to be on hide. The DVR IR LED, that stands for infrared LED. So one of the coolest features about this baby is that when you are recording, basically it has a infrared capability, so it can, if you set this thing off at night, so say if somebody breaks into your house at night and they're creeping around without the light on, this actually has infrared capability, so it will still be able to pick up images in pitch black. Alright, or not maybe pitch black, but anyways, very, very dark settings. It'll still be able to record what's going on in the room. And so I want that to be on auto, which means that it basically detects whether or not the infrared lights should be on or off. So if it's in the middle of the daytime, it will sense all the incoming light and it will not use infrared. On the other hand, once the sun goes down and it's pitch black in your house, the infrared, it will sense that there's no light and it will use the infrared it'll use infrared LED in the case that the camera is tripped off by motion. Alright, so I want that to be on auto. Alright, and finally DV audio. You have two options, on or off. So this is just to determine whether or not you also want to record sound or only you want to record physical movement and images. Alright, so I want that to be on. I want to hear anything. So if somebody broke in my house, if two robbers broke in my house and they were using each other's first name, I would be able to use that to be, to incriminate them. And basically, so now we're going to get to the good part. Alright, I'm going to hit escape to get out of this, and hit escape one more time to get back to the hidden camera main menu. So now we're going to toggle over to DV, and we're going to show you how this baby works. Alright, so once I'm over DV, I hit OK, but I'm not going to do it yet. Once I hit OK, there's no there's no going back. It's going to record. It'll give you like 10 seconds before it starts to record. Oops. So go back to the screen. I hit any one of these buttons up top. Alright. So, but now I'm actually going to do it. So I hit the OK. And it's going to say motion detection will start. Recording time is 5 minutes. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? And it'll stay like that for like 5 more seconds, and then it'll go to the display clock, to the alarm clock display. Okay, so I guess you can't really see right now, but when you first turn it on, it does record even though there's no motion to set it off. And you know it's recording because this little light up at the top is a circle. So after 5 minutes, it will turn into 2 horizontal dots, like an equal sign, but the horizontal lines will be going up and down rather than across. And once it turns into the 2 horizontal lines, basically that means it is not recording any longer, but it does mean it's in standby mode. So as soon as something moves in its field of vision, it's going to start recording again, and it would go from the 2 horizontal lines back to the singular dot to mean that's recording. Alright, so I'm going to stop this recording for 5 minutes and come back to it in 5 minutes. Alright, so I'm back live now because it's been more than 5 minutes. So the camera on has turned off. It's no longer recording. It's in standby mode. So I don't know if you can see, but at the top right hand of the clock here, you see those 2 little parallel bars. That means that it's on standby mode. So basically I'm going to move my hand in front of the camera to show you how it sets off. The thing is that once the alarm clock senses motion, there's a 4-second delay before it actually begins to record. But it's not really a problem, because if anybody were to break into your house and try to steal stuff, you know, they would take longer than 4 seconds to do this. Alright, so I just move my hand in front of the camera. It's going to take 4 seconds, and it's going to turn into a little blue dot. You saw it? It just turned into a blue dot. That shows it's recording now. Alright, so we'll record for another 5 minutes, and then it will put it in the standby mode and wait for it to detect motion again. Alright, and so basically, while it is recording during this 5 minutes, if it does, it's not going to sense any more motion, right? So let's say at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, you move in front of it again. It's not going to reset it to another 5 minutes. It's going to wait until the 5 minutes is up, go back into standby mode, and then something else can trigger it again. Right now it's recording. As you can see, one other thing which I forgot to tell. So basically, if you want to stop the recording, stop the motion detection recording mode, basically all you have to do is hit the escape button at the top. And you can, if you hit any of the other buttons, it won't stop it. Only the escape button will stop it. And then you can basically pop your micro SD card out. So yeah, that's basically the gist of how the motion detection mode works. Right now it's not on, but basically, so like I said, you could basically set this up if you basically had a house with a bunch of other people and you didn't really know them that well and wanted to make sure that nobody went into your, like, say your room didn't lock or whatever, or you lived in some sort of high crime area, and you just didn't feel like, you felt like there's a chance that for whatever reason somebody might break into your room or your apartment. You can set this, when you go away, you can, for a couple days or even just a night, you can set this up. And so basically on the motion detection mode, and so in the case that you plug it into the wall, and it'll be continually on motion detection mode. In the case that nothing happened, it wouldn't detect any motion, and it wouldn't waste any energy or any space on your micro SD card recording. So there would be nothing. It would not have recorded anything. In the case that there was any kind of motion, because somebody did break into your place or enter your room without your permission, then you'd be able to see like what was going on and why. So it's basically a really nice setup. So now I'm going to show you how to basically just access the footage. It does not require any kind of installation, but you do need some sort of micro SD card reader. So I bought this on Amazon for about $5. You stick it in. I'm going to stick it into my computer here, and then I'm going to stick the micro SD card in here. Jesus. Okay, stick the micro SD card in here. Stick it upside down. Alright. And so now I'm going to show you. Okay, so basically I would just open up any browser window here. Alright, and then I would go to this PC, find the micro SD card. Right, so now I'm in the micro SD card. Basically has a bunch of different stuff set up. You can go into music, and so this is how you put any music onto your alarm clock. Pictures, you drag any pictures you want to put in your alarm clock here. And video, you could drag any videos you want to put into your alarm clock as well. So here we have the REC folder, and that's for the actual footage that was filmed by your by the JUMBL camera, hidden alarm clock camera. So we're going to open up the REC folder, and then if we record anything using the audio recorder, it would be in this folder. If we took any pictures using the JUMBL alarm clock, it would be in this folder. And since we're going to go into the video folder, since we were doing some motion detecting recording. And so here are all your video files, right? So I want to go over some final notes regarding this thing. So one thing I don't like about this alarm clock is that there's no light when the battery dies. There's no light to indicate that it is charging, and there's also no light to indicate that it is fully charged. So you never really know. You just assume that it is once you plug it in, you assume that it is charging, but you don't know for sure, and you just have to basically manually check by turning it on to see if the battery is fully charged. And one final note is that it seems like the battery is a little inconsistent. It'll go from like 2 bars to 3 bars when you're not charging it, and it'll kind of go back and forth. So I don't completely trust the battery. Yeah, so now I'm going to show you, I'm going to finish this off by showing you some footage that the alarm clock camera took, both with the lights on and also with the lights off, so you can see how well it picks up images in the dark using the infrared LED light. Alright, so this is me walking past the alarm clock at about maybe 3 feet away. So yeah. Okay, so as you just saw by the footage, when the light's on, it captures a pretty nice image of what's going on. So I was pretty impressed with the quality of the camera when the light's on. When the light's off and it's using the infrared LED light, it's not really going to catch anything unless it comes within, about 3 feet, 2 to 3 feet for a not so clear image, and maybe about 2 feet for a clear image. And so yeah, it's, in this case, an intruder, we're walking around near your house with the lights off, it might catch his face. But the one other thing, so as a kind of backup scenario, in case they did ever come and didn't turn on the lights or anything, I also bought this motion detecting light socket. And so what happens is you screw this into, I bought it on Amazon for about $20. And it's called First Alert Motion Sensing Light Socket. What you do is you screw this into the light socket, and then you screw the light bulb into the bottom of this, and this picks up motion, and from maybe about 10 feet away, so if an intruder would it was pitch black and they walked within 10 feet of this contraption, the light would automatically turn on, and then the camera, which would already have been recording, would then be able to pick up the entire room, including the intruder's, body and his face, before you're able to turn it off. So yeah, that's another thing to consider, is a motion sensing light socket.